Okay, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Robert-Jan Schinkel. I'm a copywriter from Holland. I'm being interviewed by Ted Bryant for his weblog, and I have some little books that I made that I wanted to show you guys. This, obviously, it is in Dutch, but I'm gonna try to explain a little bit what it is. This is a little guy. It's a baron. It's kind of a fantasy Baron Munchausen-like figure. He's called Baron Dragoon, and he's a very adventurous and courteous nobleman that that I thought of and put on Twitter, and he started to Twitter, and everybody liked the little guy. He was even selected for Twitter of the Year 3 times in a row, I guess, I'm not sure. And then all the reactions and all the stories that I heard from the other people on Twitter inspired me to have him do little stories, and eventually I made all these little stories in a book. And when I did that, when I announced that I wanted to do that, I got responses from a whole lot of terrific artists and designers who all wanted to participate and put Baron Dragoon in pictures. So I'm gonna try if I can show you. I'll give you an example of some of the little story. What that was that was on Twitter. He had his own idiom, his own words, his own. Well, this, for example. This is a troll that always eats one sock. Do you know when you put all your laundry in the washer, in the laundry machine, and you get everything out, and there's always one sock missing? Well, that's this little guy. So we started to trick him and to glue him to a piece of paper with a large amount of all the socks, large mountain of pile of socks that he's been stealing. So that was one of the stories. As you can see, there's like this was one other woman that got bothered by phishing on the internet, by email. So we made a mail goblin, and Jan Paul van Vliet did a very nice drawing on that. It's like the story of the lost mermaid that found her way to the pond in the yard of the castle where the Baron lives. There's a little story. I have to explain a little bit. I like doing little stories that have like several meanings. These are kukuyos. They're mythical creatures. They're little birds that have eyes like flashlights. And one evening, the Baron decides to have a garden party, and he meets these little birds with their eyes, and he asks them if they could enlighten his birthday party. And they're okay because they are seeing this, approaching this from an intellectual perspective. They want to spread the light and enlighten the guests of the party, so they're very happy. And the Baron is just very happy that he has all these little lights everywhere, so that the party is. So he has his party lights, right? This one is another one. I'll show it to you. Well, since the Baron was thought of he's a very positive guy. So he's always polite to people. He's very he always likes to talk to people in a positive manner. He always sees the positive things. So when winter set in and some of the people on Twitter really got a little bit depressed because summer was over, the Baron decided to put the sunlight in a bottle. He concocted this machine and he put the sunlight in a bottle, and everyone who wanted one could come get one to put on their desk, for instance, to work with, or to have a little light on a dark winter's day. And this finally is one other one that he wrote for. There was this little girl, she actually existed, who was afraid of like the big mosquitoes that sometimes danced in her room. And then the Baron made up this story that this mosquito had a name, and that it was what it did in the room was nothing to be afraid of. It was practicing for a large Waka Waka dancing contest. So the mosquito took the little princess with him to the Waka Waka dancing contest, and they danced all night, and after that she was never afraid of mosquitoes anymore. With this little booklet, the profits went to a children's aid organization. That's why we started this positivity project. And for a number of years, the Baron even has had the honor to be the official ambassador to Nationaal Fonds Kinderhulp, which is an organization that helps children who come from low class social or families with less money, help them get little stuff like a little holiday or a sports a subscription for sports or swimming or stuff like that. It was really very nice. And it was in this endeavor that I met my pal Peter van der Wiel. He's a cartoonist from Holland that's starring on Ted's blog as well. You can read about it somewhere. If you click there, I don't know. He's a very talented and very nice guy, and he made a lot of the pictures. And for instance, I'm from Holland, right? And Holland is a kingdom, and Holland was founded as a kingdom in 1814. So in 2014, in the place Badmen where I live, we decided to celebrate 200 years kingdom. And the educational committee asked me, well, what could we do to let the children know what the story is behind the coronation and the foundation of the Kingdom of Holland. And Peter and I decided to make a little cartoon booklet with just a little bit of the story. It's a little bit of history with a little bit of fantastic fairy tale like story mixed in. The story is that in Deventer, 10 miles further, we had the French who were occupying Holland, our country, in 1814. And on the other side, in our village, you had like the Prussians and the Cossacks who liberated the city, who liberated Holland. And the Dutch soon-to-be prince, soon-to-be king, was inspecting the troops before they started to siege Deventer, where the French were. And we thought if Napoleon would be there, he wasn't actually, but we made it up that he was there. If he would steal the crown from the crown prince, then Holland would never have existed. So what we did, the children were clever. They started to hide the crown of the crown prince, and to make all these little crowns themselves, put them up, and stroll all around the village so that the French were disordered and couldn't get the crown anymore. And so eventually, of course, they lost the war, and the crown prince declared that we were a kingdom from that time on. So that was so we distributed this to the children in elementary school, and they really liked it. You know, it's full of the gorgeous cartoons and drawings by Peter. Like for instance, the very rich French king, the revolution, French Revolution, all starting as a prelude to the existence, to the foundation of the Kingdom of Holland. The prince, the hereditary prince that has to flee to England, and Napoleon that occupies the Netherlands. Well, you know, they crossed, the French soldiers even had to cross the frozen rivers to get to the north. And you see them here plundering and looting, and the children are not happy about that. You see even here the French, while the Prussians and the Cossacks are already in the neighborhood. The prince to the crown is coming to inspect the troops. This is in Badmen, where I live. And the children try to make up a plan. They're going to steal the crown, they're going to hide the real crown, and they're going to all put these little crowns on their heads and run around, and the French don't know what crown is the real crown. So eventually, well, it's the last one, they win. The prince regains his crown, and Holland is liberated, and the Kingdom of Holland has been founded in 1840. Well, that was it.
Thank you much.